Hello, this video is for Simon. Um, so you think that in order to have success, you should not have compassion. So you think that compassion actually stands in the way of having success. This is what I get out of this comment. So, this is a false interpretation of things, absolutely, because there are so many successful people in the world who have huge compassion, huge. So, um, Paul Watson, Ingrid Newkirk, Peter Hammarstedt, mm, Pamela Anderson, classic case of huge compassion for all living beings, equally much. And huge success with everything: beauty, clothing line, business, money, fame, all. She got it all, man. And huge compassion. So no, that is not true at all. That I think a lot of psychopaths, they probably think like this, where they think, oh, the other one, he rips her off. So if I don't take it now before him, then he will do it. So the heck with morals or anything. That is that attitude, of thinking that other people do it, and there's so much or whatever, I don't need to do anything, or if I don't take it, he will take it, or this is just how things go, or this is evolution, or this is this or that, and this is just what society wants, or those are all false conceptions of this thing. Absolutely. Yeah. So the fact that most people are ripping others off this is the truth, but it has nothing to do with business done better if you don't have compassion. Not at all. And also I don't see at all how these people live better than I do. They live horribly. They're addicted to things. No, it's definitely not the case. So so that's good that you love cats and you feel a sense of loyalty. Do you feel a sense of loyalty to cats? And would you feel loyal to a homeless dog on the streets? Would you rescue a homeless dog in Thailand or Malaysia? And do you feel the loyalty to this being? This is my question. Or do you only feel loyal to the hot chicks with the big boobs? So ask yourself that question, because if it's only the hot chicks, then it's not loyalty, it's not love. Then it is eliciting something. It is an act to elicit. So, you say women very rarely have that sense of loyalty. That's because most people are psychopaths. Okay? This is just a fact. Okay? There are a tremendous amount of women who have huge sense of loyalty. So there are extremely beautiful, like Pamela Anderson and Alicia Silverstone, and many other successful, beautiful, kind, caring women who are not taking your money and walking away with it. So they either like you or they don't, and if they like you, they are loyal and they really mean it, and they care because they care about all beings. So if someone doesn't care, they're not going to care about their lover either, because caring is caring. true caring is caring. I care, thus I care about my husband. Thus I'm still here after 20 years. This is how it works. So, and if you really love someone, you are there for that person, whether you get this or that out of it or not. Okay, you are there for that other living being because you care. That's how it works. And so there are absolutely women who have a sense of loyalty, and most people don't, because most people don't care. Okay, so I love everyone because, and yes, of course, the psychopath would call me insane. Okay, so how can I really love a bad person? And this is the question that I thought needs a little bit more introspection and needs more time and cannot be discussed in one comment. I want this also I want other people to chime into this conversation if possible, because Lisa can make a video about it, and maybe I will talk to her later and we will make a hangout video. So, but how can you love a really bad person? This is very complex, and I need to, and earlier I was thinking about this as I was sitting downstairs in my recliner chair talking to Paul. All of a sudden, this came up, this memory came up, and I thought I might share this real quickly here. The memory of when I was 29, I was living in LA and I only had a bicycle, and I was invited to my friend Michelle Miller from the Primal Center, and there were other people from the center, and I thought, oh, that's gonna be cool and it's gonna be fun. And I arrived there at her house in Santa Monica, and there is this French guy who she knows. She's also from France, and she's friends with this other French guy, and he's some kind of businessman, and he was like 50 or something at that time, and I was 29, and he kind of like a big fat meat eater, really arrogant, snobbish type of guy. And I think he was wearing a suit, and the people were standing there with champagne in this front part of the like the entrance to her house. And I came there with my bicycle, and I chained up my bicycle, and people ignored me. It was only this one guy who was looking at me like some kind of bodyguard, but he wasn't her bodyguard. He was just standing there, and he came to the gate. As I came walking to the gate, I said, "Hi." And this guy said, "Who are you?" And immediately really bad feelings came up in me, and feelings of rejection and injustice, and this horror over this coldness. And I didn't understand it at all, why he would react like this. And so I went into the garden. I said, "I'm a friend of Michelle. She invited me to her party, but she wasn't anywhere near this front gate." And I said, "Where is she? And can you find her?" And he asked me like a cop, he asked me what my name is, and then they went looking for her, and she finally came over and greeted me. But this reception was so ice cold. And I also had this funky feeling like she didn't really want me to be there either. So I started crying because I was doing primal therapy at that time, and I was wide open emotionally, going through a whole lot of emotional stuff. And So luckily Pierre was living there also, and he said that he would sit for me, like a therapist buddy type of session, and I cried on his shoulder in his room, and I said, what's wrong with this guy? Why would he treat me like this? How do I deserve to be treated like this? He doesn't even know me. He's never seen me before. Why would he treat me like this? So many questions. I was so puzzled over this. And of course, I got no response, and they didn't know why he would act like this. But I have had many of those encounters in my life, of this, like being harshly rejected. And I was wondering, what is this? What makes people act like this, towards someone they had never seen? What is this? Is it because I came across as vulnerable, and they thought they could take advantage of that and make themselves feel better by putting me down, making themselves feel better about themselves, like feeling like boss or bodyguard or important, or I don't know what it is, so and this feeling came over earlier today. It just washed up like this, and all of a sudden I felt this again, and all of a sudden I realized that my friend Michelle has never really been my friend. All of a sudden, after all these years, I started to realize this. Because back then I was in harmony mode, and when I'm in harmony mode, I block everything out, every indication out that says they really don't like you that much. I block that out, and I'm just like, oh, I want to help you, I want to be there for you, I want to be your friend, I want to give and give and give and give and give, and they take, okay? But there is no giving back. When I met Paul in LA, several years later after this, it was like he was giving me so much that I was not even prepared for it. It was a different world. It almost came across like, who is this guy that he is catering to me like this? And he was holding the doors open for me. He was making me apple juice from scratch with a juicer, and almost feel like crying over this now. And he was so giving, and I felt so welcomed, and I felt like I'm at home, All of a sudden there was someone there for me. You have no idea how deeply I appreciate this. And all these other people, they're from the center and from other places that I have known, they were only interested in certain things that they wanted from me, certain services, like trade services or something, or I was doing jobs, or I was, or they just wanted, I don't know, wanted something, and it didn't feel like there was any appreciation for me as a person, like there was no kindness and no caring towards me, towards my cells, my body, my existence, But I felt it from Paul, and I felt like this is unreal. It felt almost like it was a different dimension altogether, and I was almost not ready for this dimension. Like I was almost overwhelmed with that. So, but I was not in love with him. We were friends for a long time. And then out of that grew a closer knitted friendship with hugs and everything. And I was not his type. He was not my type. But it grew into a love, but a real love, not some affair type of thing, a real deep love. And I wish that for everyone to find that, but in order to find that, it takes two people to really care, not just about one another, but to be caring. So we happen to find each other as two deeply caring people who care about all life equally. That made us also care about one another. I don't know if this makes sense. So I hope this makes sense. And I find that very sane. Maybe you or other people might not find that so sane. Okay. And I became more and more sane through being with Paul, because all of a sudden someone appreciated me for who I am. Do you think my brother appreciates me? No. Or my parents? Do my parents really appreciate me? I don't know. I'm not so sure about it. I'm not so sure. I think they have an image of me that I need to fulfill. As long as you have an image, and that's what Jiddu Krishnamurti, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but Jiddu Krishnamurti, the reincarnation of Gautama Buddha, by the way, Jiddu Krishnamurti talked about this in depth, about having an image about yourself or someone else. The moment you have an image about someone else, like, she is now my hot chick, and she better serves me, and better, she better be always looking like a starlet when I go to some party. She better never have bangs like this. Okay, this is what an image is. She better never talk about politics. She better be the starlet and never say a word, so that we can boast ourselves as the men in the house. So, that's what I mean. Right? This is the image. You have an image of your chick. And instead of seeing your girlfriend as the living being with all the needs, and with intelligence, and with independence, as a writer, as an activist, as an artist, someone who has something to contribute to the world, someone who might not want bleach in the hair, someone who might not want to model themselves after Kim Kardashian, someone who might just not want to go under the knife. So that's what I mean, like, someone who completely fails your image. So are you still giving and loving and doing and being there, without asking anything in return? Will you be there for her, for your girlfriend, if she's in the hospital? Will you be there for her when she ages? Will you be there for her when she's on her deathbed? That's the question I'm asking. Will she be there for you the same way? Will you look at each other as a living being, as a pet, as a being who is adorable, who deserves to be loved? That is my question to you all. Okay, so if you want to, you can make me a video in return. I would really appreciate it. So take care. Peace.